Hey people, CzarThwomp here, and welcome to episode 39 of Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Justice for All. Last time, we discovered that Matt on guard was the one who hired the killer, and basically killed Juan, even though I was painfully spoiling that all throughout the case. I really want to apologize for that. When it comes to games that I played before, especially from series that I know very well, it's very hard for me to play dumb. I'm really sorry. I tried my best. I really did, not to spoil anything. But in the end, I failed, and I really want to apologize. This is actually why I prefer doing plot-oriented games like this blind, because then I run the risk of not spoiling anything, because granted I wouldn't know what's being spoiled or not, because I'd be going through it myself. But like I said, I just really want to apologize for that. Sorry for the delay, and with that, let's get moving. You don't look so well, dude. You're gonna prove me not guilty today, right? Ha 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 ha! If you please, Mr. Lawyer. Remember, it's not just me. Your precious friend's life is riding on today's verdict, too. Ugh.
Now listen up, you better get on guard guilty sentence, okay? If you get that creepy scenario making not guilty, I'll never forgive you, ever! I'll let you buy me burgers and you can pay the cable bill, but that is it, Nick! That is all the interaction we will have!
Maya.
Phoenix!
Mia? Maya? How's Maya?
I don't know.
You don't know?
She hasn't tried to channel me since yesterday.
Mia, what am I supposed to do?
Well, like I said, for a lawyer, the worst of times are when you have to force your biggest smiles.
But
you can't give up. There's still some hope left.
Stop it, please! There's nothing left. Not here. Not anywhere.
Well, you still have the ringtone, Phoenix.
Ah, it's that cursed on guard again! Will you leave me alone? Look, don't call me anymore. I mean it. You're really mean, pal. I mean, I'm used to this sort of thing from Mr. Edgeworth on Miss Von Karma, but I never thought you would be giving me calls like this. Ah, Gumshoe, I'm really sorry. Where are you? They let me join the investigation team and work chase after the killer, pal. Ben, you have some sort of lead? Sorry, but right now we've got 0 leads on the guy. They only put me on the case because they don't have to pay me. But we're not going to give up, Gumshoe, until the trial's over, until the verdict is handed down. We're going to do everything we can to find the killer. If we can get mine out, then you can get on guard the guilty verdict he deserves, pal. That's true. I could do that if they found Maya first. You got that? So you have to do whatever you can to make the trial last longer. I have to make the trial last longer? Why don't they just call the judge and he can just delay things? I mean, really, it would be out of character for the judge. I mean, just tell him in private. Literally, the judge is the only person out of the loop on this matter. If you go at Mr. Edgeworth with everything you've got, then you two can draw it out. Oh, now I get it. I believe in you, pal. You and Mr. Edgeworth can do it. So, believe in us. We're going to give it all we got, just like you. Got it. Thanks, Gumshoe.
Hey, Phoenix. You understand now, don't you? You have something money will never be able to buy. Friendship. It's the strongest weapon in the world, and you have it in abundance.
Because apparently Ace Attorney has turned into an anime. Yeah. Looks like we're coming to the end. I have to make the trial last as long as I can. Gumshoe will come through, I know it. And the only one who's completely out of the loop is the judge. Just poor judge. That or he's in the loop if my Phoenix is the judge time travel theory is correct. Court is now in session for the trial of Matt on guard. The defense is ready, Your Honor. The prosecution has been ready for a while, Your Honor. Now, as I recall, we concluded yesterday's session with a big mystery on our hands. The mystery being what exactly was Miss Adrian Andrews' role in this murder. That is to say, is she really connected to the crime itself? Mr. Edgeworth, if you would please inform the court of today's proceedings. Adrian Andrews. She forged evidence that threw suspicion onto Mr. Angad. and then proceeded to escape the crime scene by wearing a nickel samurai costume. The guilt of these actions are those from which she cannot escape. Then you're saying that she is guilty after all? I'm not finished, Your Honor. Miss Andrews has nothing to do with committing the actual murder. I would like to direct the court's attention to this card. What is that? It looks like a shell. This is the calling card of a certain assassin. Assassin, you say? Yes, one quarter was killed by a professional assassin. And the person who hired the assassin, his client so to speak, is Matt Ungard. What a surprising turn of events! I would think it's become commonplace by now, Your Honor. I know what's going on this time, so I know that everything Edgeworth has said is true.
But we still have to hold out as long as we can. At least until Maya's safe and sound.
I wonder how the trial will turn out today. Now then, please call your first witness, Mr. Edgeworth. The prosecution calls the defendant's mentor, Mr. Will Powers, to the stand. By the way, he may be a little long. He's signing all my stuff. He's autographing everything I own. Now then, witness, your name and occupation, please, even though I know it. Okay, I'm Will Powers. I'm a poor, underpaid action star. And what is your relation to the defendant? Well, I guess I'm sort of a lousy mentor to him in a way, yeah. Mr. Powers, please, you don't have to need to put yourself down so much. Sorry. Well, I'm just kind of a nothing sort of guy. I'm sorry if my judge and Powers' voice sounds so similar. They're just never in the same room, really. On the night of the murder, you visited the defendant's room. Is this correct? Yes. I didn't know that. But you know, I did actually get to see Matt when I went. All you need to do is answer what you've been asked. Now then, I would like you to please testify about when you went to Mr. Ungard's room. This is actually one of my favorite testimonies in the game because I definitely know that it is a no evidence presenting one, and it has some pretty good dialogue to it. Okay, sure. Visit to Matt's room. After the award ceremony, I went by myself to Matt's room. Matt was standing there in front of his room, still in his nickel samurai costume. He was talking with someone. At first I thought it was the bellboy. I watched the two of them for a while, but then I gave up and went back. I had guests with me that night and I couldn't make them wait for me. Pink Phoenix had to look like an asshole. Nothing sounds out of place in Mr. Powers' testimony. And talking with the bellboy is no big deal. If one assumes that the person Mr. Ungard was speaking with was an ordinary bellboy, what are you implying? Well, Mr. Wright, let's have your cross-examination, shall we?
Looks like we're in another sticky situation.
Huh?
A trap. Can't you smell it, Phoenix? But for us to find out more, we're going to have to charge ahead first, right?
Yes, Will is actually one of the only witnesses who doesn't lie, who has no contradictions. He's just an outright good guy. The defendant's room? Why did you go there? Well, I'm his mentor, like a big brother sort of, and I wanted to say congrats. What's wrong? Why did you stop? Mr. Wright! What is it? You're going to try and trick me into a corner, aren't you? Huh? I know I'm just a poor underpaid action star, but I'm not the killer! No one said you were, Mr. Rouse. No, please, don't trick me! Every time you do your lawyer thing, the witness suddenly turns into the bad guy. I love this line so much because Will is one of the few people in this universe who actually knows the dangers of getting on the witness stand with Phoenix as the defense attorney. Because just whoever they are, they just automatically become the criminal. Every time. Well, it is true. Witness, I will personally talk to the defense at a later time. So for now, please kindly cooperate and continue with your testimony. Yeah, and then after the trial. Right, you will never, ever depict Will Powers as a murderer. I don't care if he burned down an orphanage and was dancing on the corpses and hollowed out the skulls of the children and is currently using them as coffee mugs. I will not allow you to send the Steel Samurai to prison. Sorry. So, you went to the defendant's room, and then? Hey, wait a minute! When and how did I suddenly turn into the bad guy here? Are you sure that was Matt Ungard? Yeah, I'm sure. He wasn't wearing the nickel samurai mask then. If that's the case, then he really can't be mistaken. And? What was the defendant doing, standing in front of his own room? Sorry. At first, what do you mean by that? Well, he was in a bellboyish uniform and a bottle of juice on a tray. Sounds like what's wrong with me? Sounds like an ordinary bellboy to me. Yeah, but I didn't think he was a normal bellboy. And why was that? Why did I think that, Mr. Wright? How am I supposed to know? Sorry, but I can't remember right now. Sorry. I guess I'm going to have to wait patiently on this one. You saw the two of them, the bellboy and the defendant, together, correct? Yeah, the bellboy just wanted to say congrats. Now, while you were watching the two of them, did you notice anything strange? I did feel something weird. I think it was because Matt, well, he gave the bellboy a tip. A tip? But that's a perfectly normal thing to do. So, how long did you watch the two of them? Well, Powers doesn't tip! He's a monster! Teaching kids to to renounce knowledge, encouraging them to renounce knowledge, not tipping bellboys. What are you breaking windows in the night in your free time, Will? No more than a minute, too, I think. So who are these guests you're talking about? You guys, of course. You and Maya and Lil Pearl. I thought it would be really rude since I invited you guys if I disappeared on you. So I went back to my seat pretty soon after seeing Matt in the hallway. This is like squeezing water from a stone. It's probably pointless to press further.
Do you remember that incident? Did Mr. Powers leave his seat that night?
I don't remember that happening at all. Maya was making such a racket in her hyper state. I ended up focusing on her.
I see. In any case, from his story, he probably wasn't gone for very long.
Thought that was a press only. Yeah, come back to this one now. At first, what do you mean by that? I didn't think he was a normal bellboy. And why was that? Why did I think that, Mr. Wright? How am I supposed to know? Hey, wait a second. Actually, Mr. Powers, only a few minutes ago you stated... Oh yeah, here we go. I did feel something weird. I think it was because Matt, well, he gave the bellboy a tip. Could it be that you felt something strange about the tip giving incident itself? Ah! Yeah, that's it! You really know your job! Mr. Edgeworth. Yes, Your Honor? This bellboy, he wasn't an ordinary one, was he? No one in the Ace Attorney universe is ordinary. Hell, to be ordinary is basically to be strange in the Ace Attorney world. Perhaps we should let the witness tell us. Very well. Mr. Powers, please amend your testimony. You mean about the bellboy, right? So he gave the bellboy a tip. What's so strange about that? Well, you just don't tip people. You don't. Why are you going to tip a bellboy? What did he do for you? Well, you see, Matt's not a poor penny pincher like me. I was trying to figure out how much it was because the tip really shocked me. How much it was? Oh, great, is my game corrupting on me? But that's when something even more surprising happened. The bellboy was putting the tippy guy in his pocket. And that's when I got my first good look at the guy's face. I was really shocked. I'm afraid I don't follow it all. It sounds like Mr. Powers was surprised twice by this event. I wonder which of the shocking moments I should ask about. I'm gonna ask about the tip. I know it's the bellboy's face, but just ask. The defendant is a huge jar. He can't afford to give a generous tips, wouldn't you agree? Sure. But giving him that much was maybe a bit too much, I think. A little too much. Would you please clarify for the court about how much would you say the defendant gave to the bellboy? Honestly, I don't know. I can't even begin to guess. And why is that? Because he gave the bellboy a really, really fat roll of cash. How do you know it wasn't just a big roll of $1 bills, Will? That's a tactic in my family. Just, you want to look like you're giving a lot of money, just roll up a bunch of ones, make it real thick, and like put like a 5 on the top. A roll of cash? Really, Matt? Like, you couldn't pay your assassin in private? You had to delay it to the last seconds? But yeah, why wouldn't Shelly ask for it earlier? Why would he say, hey, why don't you pay me half now, half after the job? We'll meet up later. We'll meet up later.
Oh, well, how interesting. That certainly was a very generous tip, wasn't it?
A very fat roll of cash. That can hardly be called a tip, Your Honor. The judge is beginning to look awfully suspicious of us. The defendant is a superstar. That kind of tip is typical fare for people like him. Are you saying that all superstars are super spenders? Because I'm not a super spender, right? I have class and frugality. If I could receive large rolls of cash by simply bringing people things on trays, then why on earth would I stand around here prosecuting? Because you're prosecutor Edgeworth and you're a god among men? He's got a point. I don't even get paid, let alone rolls of cash or all my hard work. Oh my, I think I may have missed the line.
So supposing that roll of cash was not a tip, then what was it?
Payment, Your Honor.
Payment.
Isn't it obvious? For the murder of Mr. Juan Corda.
Then the bellboy the witness saw.
Yes, he was the assassin.
Hold your horses now, Mr. Edgeworth. You don't have any proof of this, do you?
Have I ever been unprepared to support my claims, Your Honor? I'm not right, after all. I have here the card Shelly the Killer left at the scene of the crime.
Shelly the Killer?
He's the person the police's special investigations team has been chasing for ages. I have learned that the person the witness saw was this very assassin, Shelly the Killer.
Really? What's wrong, Mr. Powers? No, nothing. Something just clicked in my head and I think I just figured something out. Oh, actually, I saw that bellboy again later on that night.
What?
Mr. Powers, please testify. Tell us what you saw. Yes, sir. Right away. This time I was in that hallway because I had to go to the bathroom. And that's when that bellboy I saw earlier came out of the room. Of course, when I say room, I mean Juan Corda's room. Now that I think about it, that bellboy did seem kind of out of place. Yeah, so he had to be the assassin.
Oh no, I think this is it. This is what I think the line is.
I mean...
Thank you very much. That's all we need for now.
Huh? But I'm not done. There's still more.
Let us first establish that the bellboy was truly Mr. the Killer. Then we shall see.
So the bellboy came out of the victim's room. And if that bellboy really was the assassin, then I think the answer is fairly obvious.
That would be correct, Your Honor. Well, Mr. Wright, I believe it is your turn to entertain and make us laugh. Ha 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 ha.
This is no laughing matter.
Yeah, Will's testimony is like a little vacation in a sense. Because you just gotta press everything. No, and he gives you some pretty amusing dialogue. And what time was it?
Well, I don't remember. The award ceremony ended around 8 p.m., right? And I went to Matt's room pretty soon after that, and then I came back. And then I went to the bathroom. And then I took a huge crap. And then I washed my hands. And then I went back to the seat. I drank some water. I squeezed a little lemon into that water. I then put my glass down. I then made light conversation. I then took another sip from my cup. So I guess maybe it was at 8 p.m. by that time. You're not the one for details, are you, Mr. Powers? Sorry. I thought I could maybe catch Matt and say my congrats.
Are you sure it was the same bellboy?
Yeah.
And how could you tell? All the bellboys wore the same uniform after all.
But, you see, well, he had those stitches in his face. So I'm sure it's the same guy that was talking with Matt.
So which room did the bellboy come out of? Oh, I did miss the line. Basically, Phoenix says a line. Basically, Will's like, oh, the bellboy shrieked because he had like a stitch coming down his face. And then Phoenix is like, you are all baseballs have stitches. Are they suspicious? And they have like the zoom in. It's hilarious. But I'm not doing that. I'm not going to go back and just do everything like that. Of course, when I say room, I mean Juan Quarter's room. Hopefully they have that. The victim's room, huh? Yeah, the one with all the really pretty flowers and teddy bears. It was Juan's room, alright. Words cannot describe how screwed I am. Let's continue with the testimony, shall we? Okay, I think this is the one. Hopefully I didn't miss it. So what exactly was so out of place about him? Right. Why the insipid grin? Maybe because I have no idea what damage you think he's going to say next. Well, the bellboy was empty-handed. Empty-handed? The bellboy was one of those room service people, right? But he wasn't pushing a car and he wasn't holding a tray either. You'd call that a little strange too, wouldn't you? I agree with that's a bit strange, Mr. Powers. But is it really that unusual for a bellboy to be empty-handed? Which I do. Should I let Mr. Powers testimony slide or try to pull a fast one? There's nothing strange or unusual about an empty-handed bellboy. But there really is. There really isn't. If you two are done being school children, bellboys offer room service. There is no reason for them to be empty-handed, ever. Your Honor, I ask that the witness's previous statement be supplanted with this new one. Edgeworth. Are you going to do whatever you can to make the bellboy look suspicious? I see. Well, very well. This court recognizes and grants the prosecution's request. Mr. Powers, if you could please amend your testimony, please. Yes, sir. So you're saying that it's suspicious for him to be empty-handed? Yeah, really suspicious. I mean, when I first saw that bellboy, he was holding a tray in his hand, and there was a bottle of juice and a wine glass on it. Juice? What kind of juice was it? I'm pretty sure that was tomato juice.
If we could come up with some sort of reason as to why he would come out empty-handed, some sort of proof, then I think we can dodge the bullet on this one for now.
Proof, huh? Sounds like another job for this court record. Oh, we do have to present. Please don't be so quick to judge. But it's kind of a Powers family thing. Think of every person as a thief. Well, I guess a thief and an assassin are most sneaky and silent.
That's not the point, Phoenix. In any case, if that bellboy was the assassin, it would be very bad for us.
But he really is the assassin, you know?
Yes, but you can't give in yet. If you wanted to prolong this trial for as long as possible, you're going to have to pull some cheap tricks on this one.
Mia, for really cheap tricks. Great tomato juice. Mr. Powers. Yes? You're easily influenced by other people's words, aren't you? As soon as you heard that bellboy might have been the killer, you got caught in believing it must be true. But, isn't it really suspicious? He got all those stitches and... Oh, here he comes. So, a baseball has stitches? Are you saying that all baseballs are suspicious because they have stitches? That is prejudice, Will! First you denounce education. Then you're telling kids not to tip the bellboy, and now you're telling that now you're promoting prejudice? You are an evil man, Will! You and your demon samurai shows, your devil samurai shows. Well, there's also, what about him being empty-handed? I would like to ask the court to please take a look here. This is the crime scene? There is a wine glass sitting next to Mr. Corda's body. The liquid inside this glass is tomato juice. And now, if you would look at the what is on top of the table in the lower right-hand corner here, anyone can clearly see that it's a tray with a bottle of tomato juice on it. The bellboy had just brought this to Mr. Corda's room. He left the tray in the room, which is why he was empty-handed when he left. But that would mean that the bellboy had seen and left a dead body in the room. But you can't prove that Mr. Corda was already dead at the time. Mr. Edgeworth. Yes? I blame you for leading me down this route. I'm terribly sorry. What is with him? Why is he laughing? Witness, isn't there one more thing you would like to share with us?
Is there?
The bellboy was empty-handed, or should I say empty-handed. I recall you said something interesting to say about his hands?
Oh yeah, I almost forgot.
Huh? What?
That bellboy, he was wearing gloves.
Gloves?
Yeah, pitch black leather ones. All the other bellboys don't wear gloves like that, right? Black leather gloves. Why didn't you mention them earlier? Sorry, it slipped my mind.
Boy, does this make the bellboy look really suspicious. Oh my gosh, too bad Phoenix, he doesn't say something like, Francisca's a prosecutor and Francisca wears black leather gloves, yet other prosecutors don't wear them. Are you saying that Francisca is suspicious? Alright, gotta focus, I can't get lax here. So what if he had gloves? A lot of bellboys wear gloves.
Come on, Mr. Wright, that bellboy was wearing black leather ones.
So? A football is made of leather? Are you saying all footballs are suspicious because they are made of leather? 2 times with the prejudice, Will! 2 times! The hate must stop, Will! Footballs matter!
But that man, he received a large roll of cash from the defendant, and then he was seen leaving the crime scene wearing black leather gloves. I don't think that even someone like myself can believe he was just another bellboy.
It seems that we have finally come to an understanding. Now then, witness, please continue with the rest of your testimony. The rest?
Oh yes, please tell us more. Okay. After leaving Juan's room, the bellboy went and knocked on Matt's door, just like that. He gave something to the person inside the room. Then the old guy just left without even going into the room.
I'm going to continue this episode up until the end of Will's testimonies because there's not much more and Will doesn't have any twists and turns, really.
After that, I went to the bathroom and then back to my seat. So the bellboy, after leaving the crime scene, next went to the defendant's room? Yeah, I kind of saw all that by accident.
Some accident? I say you saw too much. And all of it was suspicious to high heaven.
I think it's safe to say that we can no longer consider this bellboy to be normal. Now then, let's get started, shall we? Mr. Wright, your cross-examination, please.
Yes, Your Honor. Is that what you saw while you were busy spying?
Excuse me? I may be poor underpaid action star, but even I wouldn't stoop to spying.
And then Gumshoe, speak for yourself! And by the way, just Will calls himself underpaid. He does not know Gumshoe, apparently. Because compared to Gumshoe, Will is Bill Gates.
Well, I think the point is, where did you watch all this from, Mr. Powers? Oh, from the door of the bathroom with my left eye, in a sort of sneaky spy-like...
I knew he was spying! Please, does it really matter if he was doing it over or underhandedly? And plus, Will Powers is above morality. He is above the law. He's above us all, right. He is the Steel Samurai, and you will treat him with the respect he deserves. What did the bellboy do next? That's all I care to know. I said, hold it!
Okay.
That's better! Ahem! What kind of statement is that? Please elaborate and give us a few more details.
Oh, okay.
I should probably ask him only one question at a time. Ask about this something. He gave something to this person.
Yeah.
And what was this something?
If I remember what it was, I wouldn't be calling it a something, would I? But this implies that something was removed from the scene of the crime. Are you sure you really can't remember, Mr. Powers? Yeah, I think it was something kind of small.
This is an incredibly crucial piece of information. Please, try to remember what it was.
I'll try.
In the meantime, let's talk about another point, namely, what the bellboy did next.
Oh, did he give the... so after he gave the person inside the room the thing...
Present it. Hold it, hold it, hold it, hold. Hold it, hold. So who took this something the bellboy handed off?
Actually, I don't know.
What do you mean?
I'm sorry, but I only saw the person's arm.
Only an arm?
Only an arm.
And you're saying you didn't see the person's face?
Yeah.
I would like to summarize the testimony up to this point, if you don't mind. When the bellboy left the crime scene, he immediately went to the defendant's room. There, he handed a small item of some sort to the person inside. As for the person who received the item, all you could see was the person's arm.
Yeah, it was just like that. Mr. Edgeworth, is all this really all that important?
Of course, Your Honor. I think this is of the utmost importance. This is whenever was... this is... CzarThwomp, you're flubbing my lines! What am I, some Moogie? I deserve respect. I am Miles motherfrickin' Edgeworth, and you will treat me like the god I am. This is whenever was removed from the crime scene was handed over to the client.
Mr. Powers, please try to remember what was the bellboy handed off. Well, let's see. I think it was... No. If you remember, please add to your resume. Yes, sir.
What was the point of that pregnant pause?
Where did that objection come from? Swell, speak up.
It was me, Your Honor.
What is it, Phoenix?
I have a feeling that something bad is going to happen once I show this.
Mr. Wright, if you have something to say, please spit it out.
Yes, Your Honor. Okay, Phoenix, deep breath. Mr. Powers, the something you saw. Was it this item?
Oh, yay! That's it! That's the something! Wow, Mr. Wright, you really figured it out!
I recall we found this at Ungod's mansion.
At the defendant's house? What does this mean?
It's simple, Your Honor. Shelley the killer assassinated one quarter in his room. And then he stole this wooden bear from the scene of the crime.
Then that bear thing found at Mr. Unguard's mansion would mean...
It goes without saying, Your Honor. Mr. Ungard is the killer's client.
Order! I said order! Mr. Wright, this is a most unfortunate turn of events for you.
Yeah. Sorry, Mia.
No, it's alright. Your judgment was sound. Actually, I figured the bear would come up. If not now, then it would have later on. Even if you hadn't shown it to the court, I'm sure your friend Edgeworth would have.
I almost forgot that you knew about it too.
I think it is clear that there is no need for us to continue this trial.
I can't let this happen. I have to do something. There has to be something we've overlooked. Well, we could just throw Adrian under the buses, and that is exactly what we're going to do. Your Honor, a minute, please.
Yes, Mr. Wright?
There are still a few points left that we still have not fully explored. What are you trying to pull?
Oh, well, we can't have that. Alright, Mr. Wright, what questionable point would you like to explore further?
The person who received the bear. There was only one thing in Mr. Powers' testimony that was very unclear. And that was the identity of the person who received the bear.
He gave something to the person inside the room. I'm sorry, but I only saw the person's arm.
As long as we don't know who it was that took the bear, we can't be sure of... Ah!
What is it, Mr. Powers? If you're going to scream like that, then at least give us a good reason why. Oh, yeah, sorry. Actually, so I remembered. I remember who took the bear.
What?
Really? I mean, I only saw his arm, but that arm, it was the Nickel Samurai's arm, and I swear it.
You've got to be kidding! Are you sure of that, Mr. Powers?
Yeah, I'm sure it was the Nickel Samurai. Order! It looks like you've dug your own grave yet again.
How many times is that today? I've lost count. So the person who took in this little bear was the Nickel Samurai. And as we know, Matt on God is the Nickel Samurai. How many times do people have to do this? It's a costume.
Thanks to the defense, we've made all that clear.
What am I supposed to do now, Mia? Help!
You don't have time to act lost. You've got to find another angle to attack this from. Hurry! Throw Adrian under the bus, Phoenix!
Now we will call the bird...
Oh, yes, sorry about that. Your Honor!
Again, Mr. Wright, we've already removed any and all questionable areas of this testimony.
It's about time you were removed from this court, Mr. Wright. I had to find something, even one little thing that will do. There are still questions left unanswered. What are you trying to pull?
Oh, well, we can't have that. Alright.
I think it's very obvious that the bear itself is questionable.
The bear, Mr. Wright.
This was found at Mr. Ungar's mansion. However, Mr. Ungar was arrested at the hotel that night, which means that since the murder occurred, he has not had a chance to go home.
Oh,
I think Your Honor has already figured out what I'm trying to say. It is not possible that it was Mr. Ungar who took this bear to this mansion.
why? That's very true. We didn't consider that point, Mr. Wright. There was no way, time-wise, for the defendant to have taken this bear home.
Phew! Disaster averted, it looks. You haven't gotten the best of me yet, Mr. Wright. Huh? I remember clear as day. I remember what you muttered to yourself at Ungar's mansion. We have this area completely surrounded. There is no way for him to escape. I can't believe it. That butler, all this time, he was the killer. The killer and Ungar were working together, so to speak. And the killer was hiding at Ungar mansion as his butler.
What a bold move.
The bear figurine was brought back to Ungar's mansion by the killer himself. When it looked like he was about to be arrested, Ungar had him do so. I assumed because it would have been bad had the police found it during their investigation. Well, Mr. Wright, you've been quiet for a while now. This is too much. Isn't there anything I can attack at all?
I think we've heard enough. We now know why this bear figurine was at the defendant's mansion, as well as who was it that received the bear from the assassin in the room. Everything has become very clear. The client who hired the assassin to commit the murder was Mr. Matt Ungard. I see no reason for this trial to continue. Therefore, I will now hand down my verdict.
Thank you, Your Honor, for your understanding. You see, Mr. Wright, you could not win against the truth, could you? I knew it would turn out this way. After all, what Ezra has stated is the truth.
Any last objections, Mr. Wright?
Well, do I? Which I do. I wanted to say, hear the verdict. I'm curious. I want to save the game. I don't know if a bad ending is going to come out of this, but I just want to make sure because I want to basically include it. Because everyone says, oh, I want to raise objection. Hear the verdict. The defense rests. Phoenix, are you giving up? If you do, Maya will die. And then who will channel me to help you? Pearl? Are you going to make that her life, Phoenix, just bailing you out when you're flubbing up? And you'll carry that weight on your shoulders every day for the rest of your life. And Maya and I, we will remind you. We will haunt you, Phoenix. We'll come into your room at night. We'll just, and we'll go poltergeist on your ass. I don't want that to happen to you. Mia. Raise objection, Phoenix.
I will now announce my...
There is only one way for me to drag this trial out. The only thing I have left is this one dirty trick. Throwing Adrian under the bus. Your Honor, right now, we have these two reasons to believe my client is a client of the assassin. The client of a client. Reason number one, he accepted the bear figurine from the assassin. Reason number two, that very same figurine was found at Ungard Mansion. However, it's possible that this is all the work of a certain other person.
What are you saying?
What I'm saying is, it's possible for a different person. That different person is the killer's real client.
The real client?
Yes. Is this all you have?
Now then, Mr. Wright, let's hear your theory. Who do you say is the real client of the killer, and therefore the real murderer?
Easy, Celeste Impulse! Old bag! Pearl! Juan himself! The killer! The killer hired the killer!
Adrian Andrews?
Yes, we already know that she tried to frame Matt Ungar for the crime. By wearing a spare nickel samurai costume.
Ah! Then the nickel samurai's arm I saw.
That could have very well been Miss Andrews.
But what about Mr. Ungard?
If you would please recall yesterday's testimony. The defendant was taking a nap during the break period.
That's right. Then, finding this figurine at Mr. Ungard's mansion.
It was a well-laid trap set by Miss Andrews.
Mr. Edgeworth, what is your opinion on this?
I can't even begin to count the flaws in the defense's logic. Besides which, there is no evidence to support it. However, I can't fully discount its possibility either. What is with this trial? Come on, anyone can tell when God did it. I can't believe the defense would go so hard as to pin the guilt on someone else. Yeah, unbelievable. It's not something petty, it's murder of all things. And then, like, the prosecution, they get no flack about this. Here, Francisca, she's literally manipulating testimony and withholding evidence, and no one bats an eye. But the second Phoenix starts doing it, everyone goes mad. This is to save Maya. This is to save Maya. Even if this whole world turns against me, this is one fight I can't give up on. Order! 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 All disruptive parties will be forced to leave the courtroom. Your Honor, for the benefit of the defense, I'm willing to play along with his what-if game.
His what-if game, Mr. Edgeworth?
The prosecution is prepared to challenge the defense's theory. Mr. Wright, even you must have thought it strange and weird. Why would the criminal want this little wooden bear? He's right. The killer did specially bring that bear to Ungard right away. Why, do you ask? Is there something special about it? Absolutely! And I'm sure that once the court knows its significance, the true killer's identity will become crystal clear. Your Honor, the prosecution calls upon a witness who will clear all doubts against Miss Andrews.
And who would that be?
It's quite simple, Your Honor. Miss Adrian Andrews herself.
I see. Well then, the court will take a short 10-minute recess. The prosecution will prepare its witness in that time.
Yes, Your Honor.
Oh, I knew it was a good idea to hold her hostage, don't you agree, Mr. Lawyer?
But I never thought in your desperation you tried to pin the guilt onto Adrian! Ah! I swear this demon will pay!
Mr. Nick!
Pearls! Where's Mia?
I don't know. A really strong power suddenly called her away.
A really strong power? The Steel Samurai! Edgeworth called her away! You are coming here, Mr. Powers, Miss Faye!
Oh, Mr. Nick, your phone is...
It's from Gumshoe.
How's it going? Have you been hanging in there, Barrel?
Yeah, sort of. We just barely found something to latch onto.
That's good, pal.
And what about you, Hazen, yet? Have you figured out where the killer and Maya are?
We still have many leads, but...
What? We don't have any more time! If we just had one, even
a single clue would be really helpful.
I was only able to come this far because I kept thinking to myself, I've got to keep the trial going until Maya's been rescued. But have I just run out of luck this time? Is our hope for naught?
A tent!
Huh? A tent?
I could see a circus tent.
Mia!
It looks like Maya was unconscious until just a few minutes ago. As soon as she woke up, she called for me.
So what was Maya that called? So it was Maya that called you away?
She's locked in a dusty little room right now. And apparently there's a garden salad. There's a garden salad that's just thrown against the wall. It's kind of... Actually, there are a few plates of garden salad. Like, literally, it's like the killer was trying to give Maya a garden salad. She just kept throwing it. Here she is starving to death, and she's just denying garden salad. But I could see a circus tent outside the window about 300 feet away.
Gumshoe, is there any circus in town right now?
There's only one, pal! The very big circus!
Maya's somewhere within a 300 feet radius of the main tent.
What? Okay, hold your stick, pal! Hey, draw a circle on the map! About 300 feet radius from the main tent! Hurry!
And?
And?
I could see a mailbox under the window.
Gumshoe, there's also a mailbox! How does that help? Like, I mean, I can understand public mailboxes, but like, I mean, I think there's quite a few mailboxes. Here Gumshoe breaks into an office building, they're casually doing the work. Wait, Mel, this is the police! And they're all freaking out, just Gumshoe.
Well, there was a mailbox out here, and I'm going mad! Okay, what else?
What else, Mia?
I'm sorry, but it was a very small window. I couldn't see anything else. It felt like it was an old office building, maybe the 3rd floor or so.
I heard her! An old office building! Good stuff, pal! Okay, just hang in there just a little longer, pal. Wish me just luck.
Good luck.
I'll call you later, so don't let your battery die, okay, pal?
Mia, Maya's not hurt, right?
She's in pretty bad state, Phoenix. She's been starved. Though, considering all those garden towels I saw, I think it was all her doing. There's even a note from the killer saying, "Please eat the salad."
Gumshoe, please hurry!
Looks like we're out of time. Are you alright, Phoenix?
It's only a matter of time before Maya's rescued. I can do it. I just have to make the trial last a little longer. Okay, courtroom number 3. Court will now reconvene, and we will reconvene in the next episode. Anyways, I really appreciate that you stuck around to watch this episode. You're a great viewer. If you come back for the next one, if you like the video, like, subscribe, comment, share, do whatever you want. With that, I'll see you later. Bye.